So today we're going to talk about the other three primaries that I didn't share with you last week. And those are the warm primaries. So I'm going to use a warm blue, a warm yellow, and a warm red. And I have a little dish out here. Just clean it a little bit. And I'm going to put those colors here so you can see how they mix. So warm blue, warm red, and warm yellow. Have you ever heard the expression, not all yellow and blues make green? Well, they make green. They just might not be the green that you were looking for. And it has to do with your biases in the color. So these all lean towards a red bias. And when mixed together, if there's too much of that bias, it creates kind of mud or a complementary color. So in my palette, I always activate the colors first and then mix those colors to a bigger area. I'm just going to grab. So here's the bottom end of my mixing palette. And it's got a lot of phthalo on there. And hopefully you'll be able to see it. Okay, so let's just paint real quickly our colors so that we can see them. I'm going to take a little bit of my warm blue. Make sure it's really cleaned out. Probably should have started with the yellow because it's lighter. Because we do go from light to warm. Take some of my warm yellow. And notice that they're not too, they're more opaque right now. They're not really thinned out. And usually when I paint, I start with a much thinner or watered down version of the color in red. So you can see that the yellow is more golden or warmer, and the red leans towards more of a orange red, and the yellow and the blue, we talked about that. So this is more golden, it has more orange red, and then this has more red in it. Even though it looks like a really nice blue, that's what makes it so nice. Okay, so I have my colors. I'm going to move them aside. Give myself some space. And I'm going to take a couple of these new brushes I'm trying out. They're called Silver Black Velvet. This is a 12 and a 10. And I really like them because they come to a nice point and they're really soft to paint with. So I'm putting some clear water down and we're gonna drop in some of the yellow. Just kind of randomly paint, not thinking too much of the tree. And then of course, I'm gonna clean out my brush a little bit And I noticed that's one of the things is these brushes are great because they hold a lot of paint. So at this point, water softens the edge. So if you're getting some hard edges, you know need to just go back in there and soften them with water. If you want to make the color lighter, we just soften it. And if there's any window space, let's say here, I might want to keep a little light. I can lift that. So while it's really wet, it lets me do what I want. And this is a wet on wet technique. So we wet the paper first, and the paints have like a lot of water in them, so much that they can drip. So you can see the tilting process. I'm going to add on top. And yes, you could mix these colors together and you'll get a darker green. And it actually is going to give us more of what I call a warmer green or an olive green. Just kind of mixing it in. And I'm not really concerned with light source at this point of the painting. Our, our purpose today is just to kind of show you what happens when we use a warm palette. Just kind of playing here. More blue I add will make it a little bit darker in color. And what happens, if you pre-mix the color, you'll see it kind of makes kind of an olive green color. I just want to put in and kind of drag this paint down. There's so much of it. What I'm noticing is this pad of paper is a little warped. I think I noticed it last week. I have to switch that out. And so you can see the warm paint and the warm green kind of combining in here. So I like this because I can branch out and do things. So I'm just going to lift here a little bit and get some of that darker green. Just to indicate some branches. And what happens if I add the red into this area? It becomes a complement. And if it's more blue than green, it's going to go kind of a dirty purple. So I'm going to see if we can show you that. Probably is going to dry quite nice. I'm just going to pull some of this paint down. I'm trying to keep some darks on my right side. I think on the video it's the opposite. It's mirroring. It's not mirroring really what I'm doing. And what's fun about watercolors is you can lift off the color. I always have a paper towel by me with just water, and I can lift any areas of paper. If it's not drying, it seems to be dry. The humidity here is very different than up north. So compare last week's image, and hopefully we'll see um, a different variety of colors. So here's my warmer green, and when I mix my warm red with my warm blue, I kind of get a more of a dirtier purple, which you can see in the painting. Let's move that down. And probably makes the best orange being warmer. May not be the orange that you're choosing to paint with, but kind of gives me that pretty orange color. So I can use all of these different colors in this painting, just to show if I dropped in the pre-mixed orange. Kind of gives me more of a brown tone. And there you see what a warm palette can do. Um, in my signature class, Watercolors, with only 6 tubes, uh, we begin the process of a system. This is wet on wet with glazing, where you layer the colors on top of each other. And of course, I talk more about warm and cool colors. But the beauty, some people find it very, think of this being very limited, where they only have 6 colors, but you will create more color harmony quicker than with 20 tubes of paint. It's amazing what will happen. And if you add water, I mean, you can, spray and move the paints around. Next time, I think I'll work with a tilt so you can kind of see that tilt going. And I actually just got some running, but some artists really like that. If you want it more intense, just drop in some water and have fun with it. So today we covered the warm 3 colors on here, and feel free to make some comments on the screen. Of course, if you're enjoying it, please like the videos. You can also find this video on YouTube, and please share. I'm hoping these go out to others who are looking for tips and tools for different art processes. So have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.